Okay, so this is a comment that I've seen on and off in the Larry Stylinson Reddit, as well as other fan forums, and it's regarding, there's a lot of alternate theories or explanations, but in the end, they're all speculative regarding the Larry phenomenon. And we'll never know until there's some bona fide verification and confirmation or denials or confirmed denial from the primary sources, meaning the primary people involved, that being Louis and Harry. So, a common thing that I see in the Larry Stylinson Reddit, which is a really fun Reddit thread, I must say, is one fan theory or one of the kind of major arguments that not so much deny Larry existed, but deny it still existing, which is the hypothesis that it is all Larry baiting. And the reason that Louis and Harry won't come out and just say yes or no is because they leverage it for marketing hits. And outside of marketing hits, they're also leveraging it for just continued attention. It's clear that the Larry culture, the fandom culture, there's enough people in it that fuel social media likes, views, interaction, engagement, sales. So even though I didn't know about Larry. I mean, I always knew about One Direction. I always knew about Harry Styles, but the Larry uh, shipping history, I did not know that until falling down the rabbit hole after Liam Payne passed. So I think that as big as it sort of exists incognito to people that don't spend enough time on YouTube watching One Direction videos or news stories that they don't tend to get. If you don't spend enough time, you won't inevitably get the suggestion to watch a Larry fan video. And that's somehow the way the algorithm seems to be working, because people have commented that after Liam passed, they got interested in the band. The story was compelling because of the tragedy, which, I wish people could have found One Direction now and it not be of something negative, because sadly now we're appreciating a band that's missing forever one member who is a pivotal force in the group. But when you look at the One Direction fandom in the general public, the mainstream media or people that aren't fans but just know they exist, they don't tend to know about Larry. So I kind of have a hard time seeing whether Larry fits any commercial value, just because it is sort of like it's sort of like a thing in plain sight. Like it's like famous but incognito. So I don't know about that, but I can see where somebody puts the argument forward that it does fuel social media likes and activity, which is important metric wise if you're going to be monetizing any kind of channel or profile, because marketers do look at traffic, how long people stay on your site, how long people engage with it, how much chatter there is. So that alone means that does translate into something. It translates into a kind of commercial value. Because just go to the Larry Stylinson Reddit. Like, unless you're somebody that really fell down that rabbit hole, you don't know it exists. But once you see it, you see like years and years of chatter, and there's just archives. So when people look at metrics, they also do look at how often is this person being talked about. They'll go to sites like Reddit. They'll go to fan forums. So it's how many times you reoccur in frequency, because they do word counts. And it's search engine optimization. Yes, if you use the right hashtags, you'll get the traffic. So I can see Larry strategically being used because of the level of engagement and the chatter, which, if people pay enough attention to you, yeah, you leverage that's an asset if you're going to do a festival, if you're going to do this. And certainly Louis had a very successful live concert stream. So there you go. It can spread like wildfire exponentially in those fandom forums. Now, I don't know, and I don't see how. I mean, that's pretty devious to keep it going. But if you think about it, Louis has been the only one who's clearly denied it. Harry's always been coy. So on one hand, yeah, that by keeping it ambiguous, you keep people lured in by the mystery. At the same time, though, from what the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior, and people have their trending patterns. And from the time were first introduced to Louis in 2010 till now, it's very obvious he's a family-oriented person. That does not seem to have changed. So he was like this before he became a parent, and now he is a parent. Now, I think people speculate on how often he, sees his son because he lives in the UK. I don't think that's our business. And like I said, it is amazing how incognito somebody can be. Somebody commented that, Harry would need 3 hours of makeup to be incognito if he went somewhere and didn't want to be bothered. Number one, they don't get papped unless they want to. Two, there's restraining orders against paparazzi. There's a lot of legal stuff that keep them from being so invasive because of a lot of stars that had way too much privacy invasion in the years since 2010. And three, if you ever go to the YouTube channel that talks about the master of disguises at some of these, spy agencies, it is unbelievable the level of disguises that they can do. And guess what? At times, they are consulted by Hollywood for various reasons, maybe to be technically accurate for a movie or to help with a script or for purposes of disguising somebody so that they don't get mobbed by fans. Don't think that doesn't happen, because that totally does. Watch the movie Argo and get back to me. Argo, the one with Ben Affleck. That movie was wild because that's based on a true event. So I say that because I think he probably spends way more time with his son that you guys never hear about and will never know, because you never know who's going to be able to go incognito in public. These celebrities, they have an entourage and they have support. So long story short, I based on all that, him being a family person, I just don't see him seeing that leveraging a false rumor is going to be lucrative. And I just don't see him selling out family. And because we all know that anything a parent does affects their child, but at the same time, as much as we think that people are more open, and in some places they are, even in California, which is pretty liberal, you can still go to spots in the state that are, you would think you were in a red state, or you would think you were in like really conservative traditional areas. And same goes for the UK. It really anywhere. So there's still not complete acceptance, and people will. There are people out there that are so horrible that they'll bully someone if one of their parents was openly LGBTQ plus. As much as we'd like to believe people have evolved, there's enough people who haven't. So are they Larry baiting? I don't think so.